Hello. Hi friends, and welcome to another video. You're seeing my face. This is crazy. Um, I just wanted to pop in here and tell you a little bit about what we're doing. So, I have started writing some poetry. And I really want to make a little zine with my poetry in it. It's all about my trans experience, because, shocker, I'm not normal. I'm not normal. I'm trans, and you're gonna have to deal with it. My mic is right here, right there. So yeah, I am going to make a little zine for all of my poetry, and you're gonna come along for the ride. Are you cool with that? Is that okay? It better be. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. That was cheesy. We're gonna go with it though. First up was the planning phase. I used this PDF I found online to help plan out the pages, which figuring out how these would look was so difficult. I literally had to pull out real paper and look at it that way, because otherwise I was too confused on how it would lay out. But I finally figured out what pages had to be together. For the cover, I had an idea immediately. The title of the zine, just so you know, is You Can't Unknow Me. It shares the title with one of the poems inside. And part of this journey, my trans journey, has been denial. Compromising what I wanted because it didn't fit what society told me to do. But once I opened the door, once I learned this piece about myself, I couldn't ignore it. For the cover, I wanted to depict this one door, this pink door with blue light shining through the cracks, signifying the light at the end of the tunnel. And all I have to do to find it is open the door and allow myself to step through. I actually thought of this door idea for the cover while in therapy. My therapist said something along the lines of, like, when one door closes, another one opens. And the line, "You can't unknow me," was said in a way in one of my support groups. Somebody was talking about not being able to unknow something about themselves, and that just echoed, really reverberated through my body. So I wanted to put these two ideas together, because once you open the door, you can't unknow what's beyond it, you know? As a fat, feminine, presenting, trans mask, non-binary person, yes, all the buzzwords, I constantly am being cast out by society. But true happiness is not found in other people's approval, it's found within yourself. And I'm very lucky that the majority of the people in my life are super supportive, which is obviously a very privileged perspective. But starting my HRT journey may be the first thing I've ever done purely for myself. I'm currently 4 doses in of testosterone as of recording this, and I think the day I'm posting this will be my 5th dose. And I'm really excited for the physical changes, but I am already feeling some internal and emotional ones. I feel much more me in a way I can't fully describe, more settled in my identity than I've ever felt before. I'm also starting to experience a second puberty, which isn't fun thus far, but I know it'll be worth it in the end. For the inside of this scene, I wanted to dedicate it to the trans people who have come before me, both alive and passed on, and I couldn't think of a better way personally to dedicate it than to draw a butterfly, because butterflies personally to me represent those who have come before me, and specifically like talking about my grandma and like there's a lot of personal symbolism to a butterfly for me. So I wanted to dedicate this with a butterfly. I wanted to move on to the center spread next because I knew there was going to be text on the first page, I guess. So the center spread is going to be an illustration and the namesake of the zine You Can't Unknow Me. And for this poem, I really wanted to depict me interacting with my younger self, who still identified as a woman. And it was actually really emotional. I drew myself touching it's supposed to kind of be like a mirror, like looking back into the past. I drew myself touching the mirror, and I don't know, it just like looking back at pictures of myself when I was younger, and I specifically used some reference pictures from my senior photos from high school, and drew a dress I wore to my high school graduation. Like, it's very strange to look back at her. Yeah, I don't know. I also drew my younger self a little bit more hesitant to interacting with me. Their hand isn't, her hand isn't fully pressed up against the mirror like mine is. She's more hesitant and confused, and yeah, I think that really plays into the theme of this poem, which you will hear more about later. These poems go in chronological order as to when I wrote them. So the first one, Creation, was the first one I wrote. And there's a car outside being very loud. Okay, it's gone. But Creation was the first one I wrote. It originally had a little bit of a different flow to it. It was mostly about my creative practice and my art. But then I realized how closely interconnected that my creativity and my transness are. So I wanted to write something that kind of captured that interconnectedness. Yeah, it is the first time I found a voice in poetry. Like, I used to write poetry a lot as a kid because I would go to poetry camps. But when you're learning, it's hard to find your voice because you're learning, like, how to do things the way other people have done them. And now that I'm an adult, I can kind of find my own voice, and I'm really enjoying it. The second poem I wrote, I already talked about a little bit. It is You Can't Unknow Me. And I'm just talking to my younger self in this. Yes, my dead name is in this. Yes, don't be weird about it. But Annabelle was such a scared, insecure, person. And I truly think she would be so proud of where I'm at today. A little bit shocked, a little bit dumbfounded, but so proud. And she went through so much to get me here, and I'm so grateful for her. And yeah, I don't know. That's what I have to say about that. Exodus is the third and final poem in this series, and this one is all about my religious upbringing and my upbringing in Idaho, where I lived for the first 21 years of my life. And I'm kind of playing with religious imagery as an exploration of losing my home, because as I become more and more visibly trans, Idaho becomes more and more dangerous for me, as it's not trans friendly. They recently just passed one of the strictest bathroom bills, if not the strictest bathroom bill in the country right now. I have a lot of mixed feelings because it was my home for 21 years, you know, and I have so many good memories there and people I love that are still there, but it's just not safe. So I will never get to go back to Redfish Lake, at least for the time being, or go float the river, the Boise River, or go to the Boise Art Museum or the zoo, or etc., see Freak Alley. It's just out of the question for now, and I hope someday it's safer and someday I get to go back. But until then, I'm just not going to. Anyways, sadness over. I also, for creation, I did add a little bit of like decoration around the poem, but then I decided I didn't love it and didn't know what to do for like Exodus or You Can't Unknow Me. So this is the only page I do that for, but I kind of like it. I think it adds to it. I just didn't want to continue doing it. So I didn't. I have free will. Hello, and welcome to the end of the video. Yes, I have new hair. It's still me, I promise. It's not an imposter. It's still me. Just a little bit more blue-haired and pronouns type. But yeah, the rest of the video is going to be just me reading my poetry to you guys, and if that's not something you want to listen to, this is the end. So, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy the rest of the video with my poetry reading. Thank you. Bye-bye. I breathe creation with every breath, whether that be with a pen and paper or a needle filled with tea in my skin. I am creating my own path, my own body, my own illustrations of love and sorrow, exploring the depths of emotion, swimming to the bottom and slowly rising back up. If I come back up too quickly, the bends and my emotions get out of hand. I feel the extremes. I feel the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. I dream of a world where these feelings stay in check, but isn't it beautiful to feel? It is a sign of living to cry. It is a sign of living to breathe. Sometimes those breaths come too quickly, but hyperventilating is a symptom of life. I know I am alive, and with this life I will create the person I've always wanted to be. Like clay, I will mold myself into somebody I am proud of. I will be my own #1 fan. I am a star in my own eyes. I am somebody a younger me would look up to, and I am so proud to say that. I never thought I would be here, saying these words, smiling, breathing, loving life despite it all, creating piece after piece of art and poetry and love. I am my own beautiful creation. A creation worthy of love, happiness, and authenticity. Hi, Annabelle. My name is Anya, and you don't know me yet, but you will soon enough. And once you do, you won't be able to hide from the truth. You will try, trust me. You will come out with a label that even you know isn't right. Gender fluid. It wasn't for you. In your case, it was a compromise between knowing you are not a woman, but not knowing how to full send into the water of nonconforming. So instead you say she, her is okay. She, her has not been okay for a very long time, and now that we've met, you can't unknow me. Annabelle, you are struggling with so much, and know that the struggling does not go away, but we learn to adapt, we learn to love ourselves and others, we learn that life is beautiful, and we learn that maybe she, her used to be okay. But now we are a new man. That's right, Annabelle. A man. Let me introduce myself one more time. I am Anya Woodbury. I am no longer a woman. I am a man. I am love. I am light. I am who I'm meant to be. Who we are meant to be. It's nice to meet you, Annabelle. This is my exodus. I am parting the binary sea and walking through to safety, and although where I'm coming from was not kind to me and was not safe for me, it was my home for 21 years. It was all I knew, and now that I know safety, I have mixed feelings. I now know what freedom feels like, but I look back at my cage with fondness, and although I knew even then I did not fit inside the box I had been ordered to fit inside, pretending felt safe. Pretending made me feel wanted. Pretending brought community, even if that community would kill me if they had found out about my pretending. I'm free now, not in the sense that I will never face hate again. Trust me, I know I am hated for who I am, but I now feel safe enough to move through the world despite that hate. And yet, I don't think I will ever be able to return to the place I was born. I gave it up when I decided to be who I am, unapologetically me. But apologetically, I will never see the water of my youth again, for it is polluted by the blood of my siblings, and although my home now sees me as a plague, I see them as sad and lonely, for they have lost their firstborn to their hatred.